This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to ungoddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else we find this fine audio recording and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel, where we talk about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene. Does it feel like a big weekend to you folks? As I feel like this is just another regular-ass April weekend. Though it is a big weekend. My name's Matty J, that is TWK.
Can you feel it? Can you feel the weekend, my warrior?
And joining us on the call, as always, our good buddy in Houston, Texas, home of the new Dino Fury Gold Ranger, by the way. Little inside tip for you Ranger/Toku fans in the call. It's Shintigercurl.
It's dim sometime.
Also, Rico, I'm glad you're enjoying WrestleMania.
Oh, it's a fun game, isn't it? It's fun.
Review should be up on my Patreon by Saturday night, by the way.
There you
Just
go.
FYI.
Is that on Patreon already?
No, like I said, it'll be up on Patreon by Saturday night.
We shall plug the shit out of it when it's time to do so, good sir.
Plug it.
Before we do anything else, we gotta say thank you for the follow to the Dobby Villain King, who just followed us about 7 minutes ago, right as we were just setting up for the on-air portion of this particular stream. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the madness. Big week. It's WrestleMania weekend. Does it feel like that to you guys? Honestly,
a little bit, yeah. Like I don't know, I can't help it, but just get a little bit excited.
There's
that crowd there. That's like the one thing that's got me excited. The fact that there's going to be a live audience that Vince McMahon cannot control.
That's the part that I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be interesting. But it's like before that realization, though, it felt like, oh wow, this has been a weird WrestleMania. This has been a weird road to Wrestle Grapples.
Let's just hope that this follows the pattern of some past shows where bad build, good show. That's what I'm looking for.
That's hopefully what. That's what we can hope to have. I think.
In fairness, if this is like last year's WrestleMania, then dividing it up into 2 nights will make it easier to watch and usually better paced.
Well, we do know what will open and close night 1 for sure, and we pretty much make a guesstimate on what will be night 2's main event for sure. We'll of course discuss that as the third segment rolls along. We have a takeover that I was able to watch night 1, but not night 2. There was and Renico's kind of 3 nights. Do you want to count SmackDown? No one wants to count SmackDown.
It's a WrestleMania edition of SmackDown, you guys.
Are they at the Thunderdome or at the goddamn stadium? If they're at the goddamn stadium, then yeah, you could count it as WrestleMania. If they're at the Thunderdome, it's a fucking episode of fucking SmackDown with a big fat battle royal because they don't want to do that shit on the pre-show. You can count it. We don't. And most of the wrestling media don't either. That being said, we are talking Takeover, Stand and Deliver. We will discuss the news and a couple of matches that are worthy of your time. We got news as per usual, and our third segment, our preview of WrestleMania 37 from Raymond James Stadium in front of actual people, as T-Dub brought up earlier. But so we don't have more clippage, so we pretty much consolidated all the clip space into our clip of the week. Which, we're gonna jump right into it because, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the whole thing, but it was one of those things that was hard to find a point to start and end it. So I'm pretty much saying, listen to this. If you have not heard this because you were watching Takeover 1, hey, no one blames you. Takeover Night 1 was actually pretty boss, all things considered. But if you missed AEW Dynamite, you might have missed what it could easily be counted as a promo of the year candidate delivered by one of the greats, Chris Jericho. Ooh, we had a roast. Take a listen.
My jerk-off friend. And you see, my jerk-off friend says he outsmarted us because he's much more intelligent than me. And he's right, I'm not smart at certain things. High school chemistry, I was terrible. My teacher even asked me after I failed another test, "Are you on dope?" That's an exact quote. I wasn't, I just wasn't very smart in chemistry. Were you smart in chemistry? No, exactly. Who is? But what I am smart in is pro wrestling, the psychology and the business of pro wrestling. And that's why I brought MJF, my jerk-off friend, into the inner circle. It wasn't to take him under my wing. It was to keep him under my thumb. Because I know how dangerous my jerk-off friend is. I know how good he is. I know how much personality and potential he has. And I wanted to use him for every ounce of his being and suck all of his life out into the inner circle. And we had it perfectly planned. We knew he would eventually figure it out and he'd show his true colors. And we were ready to kick his ass. But what we didn't think about is that he would be one step ahead of us. And we got outsmarted. Outsmarted by a man who can do everything. Except for apparently put on a spray tan. Because a few weeks ago, when he was in this ring, he was oranger than Cassidy with more streaks than the bottom of that toilet bowl that I shoved his face into last week. I can't wait for the chance to swirly when he comes back out here in front of you guys. You see, MJF is only 25 years old. Think about that. When I was 25, I was still having wet dreams, but yet here he is, 25 years old, at the pinnacle of the pro wrestling business. You see what I did there? But here's the thing. MJF, you consider yourself to be a fine wine. You said you're going to get better with age, but the problem is you don't want to wait for the age. You want it now. You want to be better than the GOAT now. You want to be better than Chris Jericho now. Well, those are some big, big shoes to fill, my man. You got to go smaller. Take baby steps. Be better than Peter Avalon. Be better than Michael Nakazawa. Be better than that stupid Burberry scarf you've been wearing for a few years. It's tired, it's old, it's stale, and it sucks. Time to change it up. And besides, I was rocking the scarf gimmick 5 years ago, and if you're so superior than me, why are you stealing my man? That's lame. But I got an old clipboard in the back. If you want to take that and add it to the list of gimmicks that you stole from Le Champion, go for it. You see, you're not as good as you think you are, Max. You believe your own hype. I see you listening to the critics. I see you listening to the fans online. Oh my gosh, you would beeline to the back after every match and promo you ever had to check how people thought you did. You know what? We call that in the pro wrestling business being a mark. But I'm going to change that to call it being a max, because you, my friend, are a max for yourself. And the true issue is this, Max, you know, you'll never, ever be better than Chris Jericho. You'll never be better than me, and you know it. And that's causing the fine wine in your brain to ferment and sour, which is so apropos, because look at the sour men you've aligned yourself with, my jerk-off friend. Let's talk about Telly Blanchard, shall we? You said he's the greatest mind in pro wrestling history. Really? Seriously? He's really nothing more than the third string member of the Four Horsemen, right? Ranking somewhere between Ole Anderson and Paul Roma. Then you got FTR, maybe one of the greatest tag teams in the world today, but they're completely interchangeable. I can't tell which one is which. They're like AEW's version of the Jonas Brothers in that I know they're good, I know they make money, but I don't know their names. Are you Dax? Are you Cash? Are you Axe? Are you Smash? Are you Axel? Are you Slash? I don't know! And then, of course, there's Spears, Sean Spears. He's got such a great upside, they say. I've never seen it. The only thing I've seen from Spears is his number on my phone when he called me after getting fired from the Fed 10 years ago, asking for advice. You know, aligning yourself with my jerk-off friend, Sean Spears, is about as good a decision as rocking a blonde mohawk in 2021. And then there's Wardlow. Oh yes, of course. He's got $1 million brain and a 13-cent body, and guess what? He's so stupid, he has to strip completely naked to count to 21. Think about it, I've seen him do it. Compare that to my inner circle, the new inner circle that's going to dominate AEW once again with the help of all of you behind us. We know the Pinnacle is good. We know they're gonna beat the crap out of us. We don't care. We like to fight. The bottom line is we're gonna shove the faces of the Pinnacle up each other's asses and form a human centipede with MJF in the back. You want blood? You want violence? You got it. Because we've been waiting for a match since March 25th of last year. Why play grab ass anymore? You want blood and violence? You're gonna get it. May 5th, right here in Daly's Place. First time ever, Pinnacle versus Inner Circle in a blood and guts match!
A little long, but worth, because the story told, worth it. And it's Chris Jericho, so why not?
If you're gonna let the great
Go ahead, sorry.
If you're gonna let the goat run, let the goat run.
Exactly.
Oh, I looked up the date. It's going to be on just an episode of Dynamite. It's not going to be Double or Nothing. Shockingly
It's not
enough.
Double or Nothing. This is, but then again, the match itself was going to be on an episode of Dynamite anyway. So, Blood and Guts was supposed to be on the Dynamite in Rochester, New York. It didn't happen for all of the obvious reasons. It's at Daly's Place just about a month from now, and I'm surprisingly okay with that.
I don't know how they're going to pull this off. I don't know if it's going to be commercial interruptions or no, but I want this so bad.
Hey, they got the run of the place. They could do whatever they want. And Rico, yeah, I didn't cut out the censors. I just added the MT thing to the Epic Mealtime Little Bird Center thing because, well, the beeps are sharp and harsh. I care for you folks. I don't want to fuck up your ears other than by using my own damn voice.
Yeah, and so I think that as you said, they have the run of the place. So if they wanted to build two rings, they can. And because there's technically no real fans at ringside, they just, move the wrestlers back. It's
literally moving the guardrails or using guardrails to build up a little stuff. I think, or they could just do one big fat massive cage, and do kind of like what Lethal Lockdown was, except you don't have to worry about the cage lowering. Now it's closed. We're never able to see those to the concept because, again, obvious reasons. So it'll be interesting to see what AEW's interpretation of the War Games match will be. But that is another story for another day. Before we get to T-Dub's news, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. All right, never mind.
I just wanted to say that even though we had to wait for Blood and Guts because we knew they wanted to do it last year before things went down, I'm glad for it because I think Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle is a much better match than the Inner Circle versus the Elite.
Yeah. I think the original iteration was Omega and the Bucks, Hangman Page, and I think Matt Hardy was going to be thrown in there.
Yeah, Matt Hardy's going to make his debut at Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Matt Hardy, Hangman, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega versus Inner Circle.
Basically, what we got with the Stadium Stampede, but put them in 2 cages, essentially.
Yeah, this actually worked out better because it Inner Circle versus Pinnacle works so well on paper. It you couldn't make it a better Blood and Guts match if you tried.
Because you have Chris Jericho versus MJF, which that feud was going to reach a boiling point eventually. Wardlow and Jake Hager hate fucking on national television. They fighting on national television again. You have FTR versus Proud and Powerful. That's kind of a sneaky dream match put in there too. And Sammy Guevara wants to beat up MJF too, just for shits and or giggles. And Sean Spears is in there as well. He's a wild card.
Sean Spears is there too.
Yeah,
he's there.
Yeah,
taking up space.
He'll be there. He'll do something. He'll do something either stupid or dangerous or both, but it'll be memorable. Would be my guess. Would be my absolute guess.
Him and Sammy will try to outkill each other in Blood and Guts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's the fair prediction to make. The safe bet, the smart money.
Yeah, this definitely would. Yeah, JC, this feud would not work with Stadium Stampede because there's a bit too much seriousness with the blood here. The
Stadium Stampede was born of a situation they had no control over, and at that point they had to go cinematic. And well, you got Matt Hardy, you got to go cinematic and goofy, and they did, and it was fun. Here, it's war.
Stampede.
It's literally war. Go ahead.
Stadium Stampede was basically just like a culmination of a feud. This is a blood feud, honest to God blood feud. Even though it hasn't had a lot of time to build up, it feels brutal and it feels.
This feels, and obviously the story is it's Inner Circle trying to exact a measure of revenge on MJF, but MJF has got a crew. And you can build multiple feuds off of just this one match. It decided, hey, you know what? We want to do Blood and Guts. We've been promising this for months, and it feels like years, to be fair. This feels like the perfect spot. It might be a case of they could have stretched out on a few extra months, and the last time the last show they do at Daly's Place, say before they move out, hey. Let's figuratively knock the building down with our version of War Games. But it is what it is. It's still a fun match, and it's going to be fun to watch. And the build up to that. I mean, we got a whole last month before we get to this, and after the first week of that, shit. I don't know if you're interested. Yeah.
We got our first official match between the Inner Circle and
who?
Jericho versus Dash.
Ooh, yeah.
I think
you cut off a little bit there, Shin. Sorry.
And it's going to be Jericho versus Dax Harwood, and Tyson is going to be special guest enforcer.
Yeah, that's next week. Absolutely. I believe that's what you cut off there, but you were saying that actually, yeah.
I'm gonna be with Bethel and Fortha, just like at WrestleMania.
With cold phone.
Also, should we know that right as we're recording this, AEW is performing their first ever house show at Daly's Place as a thank you to all the fans that supported them during the past year.
Which that's nice.
Yeah, very, very lucky. They get to see what look to be some pretty cool matches.
I mean, the
So,
card
maybe
itself
they don't.
seems nice enough, at least.
On this past episode of Dynamite, we saw Hangman and Max Caster have a pretty
Actually,
good match.
teed up. Before we get to Dynamite, I said I was going to do this. You do news, I got to do the takeover stuff first.
Take over, Matty J. Go ahead, take over this segment, I guess one could say.
Hey, like it's what we agreed on. I do takeover, then you do the news, and AEW starts with is the news technically. We will
and
not
you will
do
stand and deliver with that news.
Yeah, I will stand and deliver. It is news, not review, because I only watched night one, and the boys here, I don't know how much they've watched, but obviously they had the riff down, the riff zone, on Thursday as Impact moved to Thursday. So T-Dub and Shin probably weren't able to watch it live. And I wasn't, because I was doing recap, so that's the reason why it's not a full review. But here are the results. They had a pre-show because it was both on USA Network and it's simulcast on Peacock/WWE Network. Solid idea there, Vinny. They had a pre-show. Zoe Stark defeated Toni Storm. I did actually watch that match, and thumbs up. I think Zoe Stark is a new recruit. Looking good. A little rough around their edges, but that's what NXT is for.
Yeah, she just signed a couple months ago.
Yeah, so a little rough, but a good start. And you know what? Having Toni Storm put Zoe Stark over, not a bad idea. Pete Dunne defeated Kushida in 10:39. Great match, but I'm getting sick of them. Shit or get off the pot with Kushida. He's an international fucking star, and you're literally hiding him. It's not like Vince is going to notice this guy because he's 7 foot tall and you can't teach that, guys. Come on.
I heard that this was good, but
it was. In fairness, it was. It was a technical master. It was a technical.
Kind of threw it together.
Yeah, it was a 10 minutes 39 seconds. It was technical. It was fun, but you know.
They should have let him go another 50
Yeah.
minutes.
I think it was a case of this was a TV match. They knew they were on USA. They couldn't give him the extra 5. Bronson Reed, he won the 6-man Eliminator Gauntlet match. He was facing Gargano in night 2. The match involved Swerve Scott, the $1 billion man, Cameron Grimes, L.A. Knight, who cut a promo, and popcorn fart because no one's in there to do L.A. Knight. Dexter Lumis and Leon Ruff. That was 23 minutes, 14 seconds. And a match of the motherfucking night. And a match of the year candidate. Walter defeated Tommaso Ciampa. Get to the Ciampa. There we go. For the NXT UK Championship, it was 16 minutes, 59 seconds of war. And I loved it. You should watch that match. Chops. The chops are loud.
Were there really a lot of chops?
Dude, the match finished with Walter delivering the world's strongest chop to Ciampa.
Did it reach the triple digits yet?
It's 16 minutes. The triple digit chops, you got to go about 30 minutes on that one. It was obviously a TV match, but something to catch is what I'm trying to say here. Triple threat tag. The winners are MSK, Wesley, and Nash Carter. They're the new tag champs as they were vacated because someone that had a bad boo boo. 15-24. And in the main, Raquel Gonzalez defeats Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship, 12:56. Solid main, and they didn't have to immediately follow Walter versus Ciampa, so that definitely helped. And in night 2, there's another pre-show. Killian Dane and Drake Maverick, they defeated Breezango in 8:38. The winner received a tag team championship match at a later date. Santos Escobar unified the NXT Cruiserweight Championships. Jordan Devlin was the other one that held it, but he was in the UK for the longest of time, so they had to do something. It was done. It was a ladder match. It was decent, from what I read. Amber Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, they retain the NXT Tag Team Women's Championship. 10:34 for that one. Someone wanted to say something?
Go ahead.
All right, cool. And Johnny Gargano, he defeated Bronson Reed at 16:23 for the NXT North American Championship. Cross versus Finn. Cross won 17:05. I was told this was a pretty damn good match. I mean, it put over both guys, but obviously Cross had to get, look, I got to get the belt back. It was supposed to be mine. And Finn Balor went, okay. I'll make you fight for it, though. And Karrion Kross went, okay. And they fought.
And Finn is now of the dead.
For now, at least. He ain't moving back to the main roster for now.
To quote the Terminator when he saw Jesus, he'll be back.
And in the main event, unsanctioned, Kyle O'Reilly defeats Adam Cole, baby, in 40 minutes, 19 seconds. And a lot of people saying it was good. Chop 10 minutes off, you'd have a classic.
Did it feel like it was getting just a little long in the tooth there?
That, from what I've read, it got long in the tooth. And I saw some of the spots. I'm like, ooh. And I saw some of the spots. They had like they have those guys that put over, you know, quote unquote official, unofficial match highlights. There was one that was about 10 minutes. It was removed by WWE, which is why I'm not going to mention it because you can't find it anymore. Copyright stuff and all. But it was 10 minutes. All the important spots were there. And I'm like, dude, if that match was like, that match was fine. Was like, what's the thing? And the big complaint? Too long. Yeah.
I do love their really long Adam Cole baby matches.
It need context, and I get it that it's a blood feud and all that stuff, but at the same time, 40 minutes is too long. You know, 40 minutes is too long, except when you could put a lot of context in a match. You know, like for me, it's like I get the feeling that Triple H watched the 2 out of 3 falls match between Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega from a couple of years back, and said we got to put together matches like that, without understanding the physical context and the you know, yes moves, but story needs to be involved. I don't know. Maybe it's under the WWE banner, like their people are used to shorter matches, but. That's the main complaint I saw, because I saw the highlights. I'm like, dude, why is this looked like a war? 40 minutes felt like it would have been long, but I'm like, with all that stuff, and maybe you trim it to 30 minutes, maybe the thing would have been better. I don't know. I did not watch the match. I only saw highlights, so I cannot form a fully just opinion here.
However, from what you've seen, you had a good time.
From what I saw, it looked like they had a war. Which obviously, which is what they wanted to do, but you know.
For the matches that you saw, you had a good time watching the matches.
Yeah, night one was fine. Wardlow versus Ciampa stole the two night. I almost want to say the weekend, but it wasn't even a weekend. It was just the 2 nights, the takeover. But you know,
just happy that we're not one of those shows that covers literally every single wrestling event right after it happens.
You'd have to pay us to do that at this point. You'd have to pay. That's the thing. If this was our job, I don't think we'd mind doing that.
Probably not.
We'd be okay with having to do a show every night of the week this week. Yes, that would include Raw, but it's 30 minutes of us shitting on Raw, so you know. Jokes would be made, of course, but you'd have to pay us, you know, and not just one of those, well, here's $1, do the thing of that. I'm talking livable wages here, folks, or at the very least enough to make you know, ends meet, so to speak.
That's always the dream, is it not? Anyways, so you had fun watching your NXT matches. That's good to hear.
You know, it's fun. Like if for night one, I'd give it a solid 3.5 out of 5. But I cannot put. But they take over, stand and deliver. need to be as evaluated as a whole, and I cannot do that, unfortunately. And neither can do the truth to the gang here. Unless Shin, if you want to throw in your 2 cents if you watch something or not. I will take that as a no.
All right, so
let's do to the news, my friend. Let's do to the news.
One thing I want to say is, I hope they have something good planned for Santos Escobar, because after featuring him with Cross and now becoming the undisputed cruiserweight champion, I'm wondering who they're going to feud him with. Like what?
And he's celebrating it with his kid, which is a babyface move. And if I understand, my basic understanding of what's going on is Santos is supposed to be a heel. So I don't know what they're doing with that, obviously.
So I wonder, like, what is going to be his next program is, like, who is going to be the one that finally defeats Mr. Escobar? Could it be Kushida? Could Kushida win the Cruiserweight title?
Hey, Shin.
Shin, if you hate Whataburger, stay silent. Shin,
I think there might be a technical goof up.
Shin,
because I was going to ask him, you think Dexter Lumis could lose? Yeah, there he just dropped. Unfortunately, I think he just hung up.
Oh, nutter butter.
Yeah, internet problems, folks. They happen. I was going to ask if Dexter Lumis could lose about 50 pounds and could participate in the cruiserweight division, but we will ask at a later time, hopefully later this evening. Let's do to the news, T-Dub. Let's do the news.
From one area in Florida to another, Jacksonville more specifically, with AEW Dynamite, as we kicked off with Hangman Page and Max Caster, who of course laid down some vicious bars during his opening bits.
Yep.
The guy, he's got some bars. He's got some bars. And of course, Anthony Bones there be his hype man.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried to be the interference man, but Hangman said, "No way, man," and moonsaulted him to the floor, and then decided to go buckshot lariat for the win against Mr. Caster.
There you go. Shan, are you back? Oh, yeah, he's back. I saw something in the Discord.
You're starting to piss me off, Discord.
See, hey, Shin, you think Dexter Lumis could face Santos Escobar if he lost 25 pounds?
Oh, don't worry. He's already on the list for Dexter Lumis.
Good. All right. Comedy's back, everybody.
Cruiserweight.
Hey, like I said, Dexter will have to lose. Lumis will have to lose at least 25 pounds, but he could face Santos Escobar.
Yeah, he will lose a couple of pounds, and he'll just sit and he'll cheat on a scale. Mr. Lumis, the cruiserweight division is 125 and under. What's your weight again? 230 pounds. Okay, so
he needs to lose 25 pounds. There you go.
Why are you looking at me like that, Mr. Lumis? Why are you? And the thing goes black.
Actually, I am curious. How much does Dexter Lumis weigh?
How much does this guy weigh?
Oh, God damn it. Let's not start that. This is a legitimate inquiry, not a footballer not knowing not a goddamn thing.
Gorilla, what does this guy weigh?
Oh shit! Curtis used Bubba and Devon. He was trained by Team 3D.
Team 3D Training Academy. Nice.
Okay. Actually, we're a little off. 240. So he needs to lose 35 pounds.
Yep, he needs to lose 35 pounds because Cruiserweight division in WWE is 205 and under.
205, baby.
Oh, don't worry. He has a way to do that. Whoever asks him how much he weighs, he'll just get rid of them because they weigh exactly what he needs to lose.
So a note to Dexter Lumis. I am at 281. I am the opposite direction of where you want to lose your weight.
Anybody else want to ask me to lose some weight? Nope.
No thanks. I'm too heavy for you anyway. Gotta go under, not over.
I want to see a match between Dexter Lumis and Powerhouse Hobbs. Battle
Oh,
of the Serial.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
Who has
my
this
God.
scarier
Yeah.
facial expression?
Like I don't want to say who I don't want to say who I want to win because they both look like they're gonna kill me.
It's the match of the stare downs at this point. Who blinks first?
Who has the best serial killer smile?
Yeah.
And speaking of Hobbs, so we did get a promo from Team Taz on this show. Beforehand, Taz invited Christian to join Team Taz, and later on, we got another promo where Team Taz isn't exactly all on the same page at the moment still.
I can see Team Taz breaking up sometime in the near future.
And then, of course, that unfortunately means the end of the FTW title for now.
Which I mean, it's owned by Taz. It was used as a thing to put over Brian Cage, which did its job at the time, obviously. But the idea is to go in a different direction, which makes sense.
Maybe Cage can start tagging with Darby Allin since they both love skateboarding.
No, that's true.
Watching
the Elite reference, there it is.
watching Brian Cage trying to do a kickflip and succeeding made my day.
It took him a few tries. But when he did it,
Don't forget that about 10 years ago, Brian Cage was a super skinny dude.
he was. He totally was.
Pulled off a kickflip, guys. I'm gonna take off my shirt now.
You see, that's causing the problems. You'll notice that in all these promos in the past few weeks, Brian Cage is always wearing a shirt. That's clearly suffocating him.
Irritable. That's why he's so miserable right now.
Mm-hmm. There's your problem.
What's wrong with you, Cage? What's the matter? Oh, you know what's the matter, Taz. I told you you can't go shirtless all the time. What about that one time I wanted to go shirtless? That was a cancer hospital, Cage. Why would you need to take off your shirt then? I don't know, maybe to cure cancer. You don't know it. And Taz just rubs his face. It's like, I should have been back to Impact.
I should have stayed in the commentary booth. I was doing
And
so
things that
well
I'm sure
there.
and a segment that I'm sure made at least one person rub their nipples, we had the Best Friends declaring that they will enact vengeance upon Death Triangle for their actions a year ago.
Continuity. Ding.
Boom. Long-term booking. Or, okay, we need to, bows need to be tied.
Yeah, because
Also, am I the only one who noticed Chris Statlander's makeup?
oh yeah, it's
different,
nice and
yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice homage to V, the final battle.
Oh, that's what it is?
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, she watched V, didn't she?
Oh.
All right, so what is V?
V, I believe, is not the V for Vendetta, for those wondering. This is a science fiction dystopian flick series.
Yeah. Basically, pretty aliens come to Earth. Pretty aliens pretend to be Earth's friends. Pretty aliens turn out to be lizard people who want to eat Earth.
Oh, that old chestnut. Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it's basically everyone's happy, everyone's happy. Silent greatest people. Wait, what? Silent greatest. Wait, wrong movie. Aliens are still evil though.
I believe Justice League did a similar plot.
Something like that. Yeah, I love when
Justice
I do it
League.
like this. Silent greatest people. Oh wait, still wrong movie. Never mind. Stupid
I
lots, man,
can't remember
all
if it
over
was
the place.
Justice League or Unlimited that did that plot.
It was Justice. They did that with the Heed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Heed were when the aliens were really good looking until you pulled off their skin, and they were horrible lizard people.
See, that's why I have a problem with that. Like, pulling off the skin, you can't do that. You gotta do day live. Shades, sunglasses. Piper pull it off perfectly.
You're fine, but you're
Real fucking ugly.
someone can see.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and watch Mania. And thank God I still have bubblegum.
Oh, yes, we got to get to that.
Was it time to gush about the factory?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
T. Marshall did cut a promo. You know,
He
took
did.
over the Nightmare Factory, had Nick Camarado throw some paint over, and now is, instead of being the Nightmare Factory, it is the Factory.
There's your stable right there. And it's not bad because it's essentially what it is. It's a bunch of young punks and QT Marshall as the head. People could scoff at this, but QT Marshall in his prime, solid main event heel.
That promo he cut was great.
That was a banger. Solid promos again out of AEW this week, to be fair.
Yeah, it seems like one thing that they always excel at is just having people just cut a really simple, like just a good 2 to 5 minute promo. That's all you need sometimes.
Point A to point B with all the stuff you need and enough in there to inform a heat magnet of some kind.
And yep, JC was right. Anthony Ogogo did cut a promo about how he's from England and how he would fight people just for the fun of it, and getting paid was just a bonus for him. And now it's here in what he calls shitty America.
Anthony Ogogo looks like a killer.
That might be the standout from the factory.
He is a world-class boxer.
And I know a little something about world-class boxers.
That's you. You are basically our boxing expert, so I'm surprised that you don't know much more about Mr. Ogogo.
I'm more of the classic sort of boxer. I can't really watch much modern boxing.
So I have a question for you. What do you think of Michael Moorer?
More.
All right, that's a deep cut for our audience. The Michael Moorer is the guy who lost the heavyweight title to George Foreman when he had his comeback.
Although to be fair, Foreman did play him
A little bit.
Modern day martial artists did a great breakdown video of how Foreman took back the title from Michael Moorer, and it was a great breakdown that lets you know that George Foreman is actually a far better boxer than people give him credit for.
Also on the show, we had Jurassic Express defeating Matty's favorite team, I'm sure. A certain country. What kind of country is this team from, Matty?
Well, which one are we talking about here? It depends.
Well,
He's referring to the Kingdom of Ursus.
Yeah, we had Jurassic Express versus a certain country.
Yes, the Kingdom of Ursus.
So we have Bear Country. Yeah, okay. First off, Tito, but it's Bear Country. The name.
Yeah, I was setting you up.
Sometimes your setups are... Sorry.
I'll send you up for the button.
For what button? Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Okay. I'm an idiot. You can tell it's only been a 4-day week, but it's been a week on my end as well. Let me give myself one of these. And I believe you were talking about this.
Bears!
Yes, but in song form.
I wonder if anyone has ever made a Stephen Colbert Bears.
Dude, right now we're talking about Dino Fury buttons at this point.
Are there bears in Dino Fury?
Not yet, but there was a monster that this past weekend we riffed on Thursday last night. There was a monster who had there are actually two major running gags. The side character, the guest star, if you want to say it that way, had a very red-green aesthetic with the handymanness and the flopping and the lack of duct tape made us go red-green because, well, duct tape. And the monster had a very pronounced Arnold Schwarzenegger accent.
Oh, yes, I'm going to stop the Rangers.
If you're not careful, you know what's going to happen. You've just been erased. Actually, you've just been erased. There we go.
Let's see who else. So Jurassic Express vs. Bear Country was a fun little match.
Yeah, it was in promotion of Kong versus Godzilla.
Great corporate synergy.
There you go.
As Excalibur put it.
Great corporate synergy. And Easy said, well, wrestling and Toku melding, I was like, and melding and riffing, and someone says, well, have you heard of Aztec Kaiser? Yes, we heard of Aztec Kaiser, okay? Wrestler and a Toku, for God's sakes, in the 60s in Japan.
It was a bit rough around the edges, like Guts said. There were a couple of botches in there, but fun little match.
It was there for the promotion and to give Jurassic Express a pop.
Give them a pop, get the Jurassic Express a victory, and of course give Bear Country a little bit more seasoning, as it were.
Pretty much.
Stephen Colbert was happy that Bear Country lost.
Because they're the number one threat to America.
Bears!
It's always that same picture of a bear he uses.
Bears!
We also had Sting officially endorsing Lance Archer, so that's good use of a legend, using him to put over one of the current wrestlers, to having him say, you know what, Lance Archer, you deserve to be in the main event and not disappearing for weeks on end.
Bears!
Okay, I'll stop there. But yeah, this seems to be building up to something. What is it? We don't know, but they're building to something here.
I can't wait to see what it is, because usually when they build up, the payoff is usually worth it. Usually, it's not perfect. They're not batting 1,000 on the build-ups, but they're definitely batting over 500.
See.
And speaking of batting over 500, Darby Allin, his title defense has so far been pretty great. This week against JD Drake, who I'll admit I wasn't too familiar with, but I'm a fan of him now.
He's like a white version of E.T.
I especially love his offense against Allin, where where they're on the outside, he throws them up onto the apron against the ropes. Allin bounces off the ropes, and Drake hits a lariat onto him.
Very cool.
I would never to do that. Not like, wow, that's goddamn. Being a powerhouse and a bit of a striker, but being innovative about it. I like it.
Also, somebody tell Dolph's brother to sit his ass down before he gets jumped.
Yeah,
I have to also give props to Dolph Ziggler for last week, constantly posting a picture of Ryan Nemeth with Jon Moxley's boot in his face.
Well, folks, that's sibling rivalry for you.
Yeah, like every time Ryan Nemeth does something on Dynamite, Dolph would instantly just start mocking him for getting his ass kicked every time. Oh, good old, yeah, gotta love siblings, man.
Yep.
And of course, we also had our Inner Circle segments where first Jericho cut the promo on MJF, then later on, the Pinnacle got their revenge just sort by being the Shed Jericho and locking the Inner Circle in their own locker room. And then, of course, we saved the day, but Mike Tyson.
Who, this was what, 2 or 3 months removed from his quote-unquote exhibition against Roy Jones, I think it was?
Yeah,
Yep.
Jones Jr.
Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. Dude looks like he could go now.
Mike has always kept in excellent shape. People make fun of him saying, "Oh, his punches look like Shane McMahon punches." I'm like, he had to pull back on poor Sean Spears. Like, if he didn't pull back on his punches, Sean Spears would be sent home to his wife looking like Stephen Hawking.
I'm going to try to imitate Stephen Hawking. I can't. I can't.
Hello, AWW. I am the chairman of AEW, Sean Spears. I am like this because Mike Tyson brutally...
Anyone got a handle on Microsoft, Bob?
Yeah, I do feel bad that because Sean Spears is the least is out of all the members of the Pinnacle, he's the one with the least.
He's the pin monkey of the stable. He's the guy that's good. Oh my god, I feel bad for Sean Spears. He should not be. He should not be the Yoshihashi of the stable.
And yet he will be.
He will be. He's going to be the one eating the pins.
No. You see, unlike Yoshihashi, Sean Spears has actually won more than one match.
That is very true. But in the stable logic,
Yoshihashi has
not
something
everyone can take pins unless they have to give a championship match. Sean Spears is essentially being set up to be the bitch.
Also, Yoshihashi has this over Sean Spears. He actually has a legitimate title reign.
Off the backs of two much better wrestlers.
True. But it's still what's the word?
Undeniable fact.
Thank you.
Okay, well, at least Sean Spears actually has a cool nickname, the chairman of AEW. What does Yoshihashi have?
A stick.
Headhunter. He's the headhunter.
He's a headhunter, and he's got a stick.
Who even remembers that nickname? That's a stupid ass nickname. What head is he hunting?
Hey, if we're not careful, we're gonna have a Yoshihashi on a stick. Yes, that was a Jeff Dunn reference. I regret nothing.
And speaking of not regretting anything, Britt Baker regrets nothing, as she says that she should be the number one contender just based on her popularity, and saying that wins and losses shouldn't matter. It should just be about star power and all that. Basically trying to make her this sort of proto WWE type of heel, I guess.
You know what? It's still a good promo.
And
they're going to build her up so could she have a shot at Hikaru Shida again. So it's not the worst thing they could do right now.
Yeah, they got to build her up, get her some wins. That way she eventually becomes the number one contender. And I feel that she probably will be the one to end Hikaru Shida's legendary reign at this moment.
Yeah,
someone's got to do it. If it's going to give heat, give it to Britt.
This is going to be it's actually going to be a pretty good year for the AEW's women's division. Between Shida's epic title reign, you got Nyla Rose, you got Tay Conti, you got the Bunny reasserting herself, you got
Jade Cargill needs a couple more matches, but her promos are already better. That's a good thing. She's improving on in the vignettes and all that stuff. They're utilizing what they have with her correctly, and that's not a bad thing. And of course, Statlander came back. As I think you were going to bring that up.
Resident Alien Chris Statlander's back. Mm-hmm. Got Thunder Rosa up in there, of course.
They also do have someone who I also believe is being underutilized, in Penelope Ford.
Yeah.
I think after this whole mess with the best friends is done, after it's pretty much been over, I think we're going to see more Penelope Ford in the women's division.
I would definitely say that because they have a really decent division on their hands. It's just now they're starting to actually utilize them, especially with more of them returning to in-ring status.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Ty Conti defeated the Bunny in a pretty damn good match after, Bunny tried to cheat using Hikaru Shida's stick, but Shida said, no, that's my stick. Go fuck yourself.
Pretty much. She said it in Japanese, though.
Also, can I just say, Tay Conti hugging -1, all of that.
All of the wholesome. And it just every time I see him, it just gets me in the feels.
-1 is going to be something in professional wrestling if he wants to be.
Yeah, if he wants to be, it's obvious he has a spot.
He's got mentors out the ass.
Yep, he's got Auntie Conti.
Let's not put that over. We could overuse that, and people could use that out of context, and we're all out of jobs.
You're out of a job. And once you're out, Shin will finally take his rightful place as the main runner of this show.
I'm not talking about this podcast, idiot. We're talking about in the real world stuff. It don't fucking matter, man. I'll still be doing a podcast. I'm talking about the real world shit.
Yeah, no need to worry about that.
You work at a Little Caesars. All you need is one bad Karen with wild hair up your ass, and we're all fucked.
Nah, Nah. Everyone there likes me. They know me. Anyways, something no one else should have to worry about is where the Young Bucks currently stand with the rest of the Elite, because it turns out they just could not bring themselves to murder Kenny Omega. That they had the chance, they were about to do it, but they just couldn't do it, especially Matt.
No, and people are complaining, oh, this, you shouldn't be doing this is getting boring. But no, this is still intrigue, and it's slow burn. One, you could tell that, yeah, they want to help their buddies, but they feel nothing's right. I get the feeling this will not be immediate. This is not going to be like in 1 week they're going to super kick Don Callis. That's not the case. But mark my words, somewhere down the line, Don Callis is going to eat a super kick. Or two. Or a party.
He will eat a Golden Corral's worth of super kicks.
You think it'll be once Omega loses the title?
That could be one option.
Can Omega lose the title? He's wondering what's going on. And he finally realizes.
And the Young Bucks realize, hey, you were doing fine until this jackal showed up.
But the bigger question is, who will he drop the belt to?
I'm guessing Hangman.
A lot of people guessing Hangman, actually. I would put some money on Hangman. I wouldn't put all my money, but I would put some money on Hangman.
I'd say Hangman.
That just seems to be their natural progression, because, like, straight from the word go, you could see where things are going. Jericho to Mox to Omega to Hangman. That's just the way that the natural main event story seems to be telling at the moment.
Yes, indeed.
And overseas to the World Japan, feel bad for Kotebushi because he's already lost the IWGP World Heavyweight title.
Here we go. So Sakura Genesis happened. It was a fine show. It was fine. It's a New Japan COVID show, so it's not a full Ryogoku Sumo Hall, but it's a show. And it was Osprey versus Kotebushi. They had a fine match, and that they had a perfectly decent IWGP Heavyweight Championship with like a lineage of people and a reputation for being the toughest belt to acquire in professional wrestling. To be the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, you gotta be good. You can't just be a good guy. You gotta be tight with everybody. You gotta be over with the Japanese crowd. Kotebushi gets a new belt, he loses in a fucking week.
I've seen some people try to justify with, technically he's had it since January, but I'm like, this is a new belt, though.
This is a new belt. They have stated this is a reboot. He is the first IWGP Heavyweight Champion. All the other championships are defunct. Forget about it. Yes, he's the last champion. Yes, he has that legacy behind him, but this is a new belt, and he's had it for about a week, and he fucking loses it.
It makes me so sad. It just makes me sad because it's like, okay, it seems like they're going to build a whole company around him, and
it's gone. And I get the idea of what they're trying to do. It's the chase. And right now, Will Ospreay is a heel in Japan. He's a big heel in Japan, especially of what he did with Bea Priestley. But he's a heel. He's got a heel stable. He's got Toa Hinari as a new member of his stable.
Yeah, I saw that. Good for Toa.
Good call. Good call, Toa. Toa's a good call. Toa Hinari, good call. Absolutely. I get what they're trying to do. It's a big, tough foreign heel. Get the heat going, and Will Ospreay's not going to he's not going to pull it evil. I hope. I'm knocking on wood on that one. But you could have waited a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen some people theorize that he could possibly be a transitional champion for Okada to finally get the belt after not being a champion for over a year, actually.
Didn't we say about a month back that he had a fucked up back that he needed fixed?
Yeah, he should have taken time off back then, honestly.
Honestly, he had a whole fucking year and he still wrestled with a bad back. Most professional wrestlers would take, you know what, I got enough money in the bank. Let me get fixed up. Let me get better. Then I'll carry the company. So like, I get it. Like, if this is true, this is a very rare lapse in judgment out of Gato and the crew. And last year they had another big fuck up with Evil, and that was a lapse in judgment, folks. I'm sorry, bad idea.
Decent attempt.
Good attempt, right? Solid attempt by Evil. He turned it into chicken soup, but it was a bad fucking booking idea. This is another one. It was
whole run. I think it should have been longer. That was my whole issue with it.
It was a bad mistake, and they could have turned it into actually a pretty decent long-term story. But they had an idea, and they deviated for a couple minutes, and the booking's getting wonky at this point.
I'll give it to Bendis if they decide to go with Osprey. He needs to have a long run.
He needs to go until at least Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
If it has to be Okada, fair. But if that's the deal you're making, if it's a transitional champion that he's going to lose before the G1 or just after the G1, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
it cannot. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship is not a transitional championship thing.
Yeah.
If you want Okada to win it, have him win the G1. Have it win it at Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, it's going to be the first time it's happened because they also had both Tanahashi and Jay White be back-to-back transitional champions to get the belt to Okada just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And we forgave it because they had a lot of good. They had a lot of goodwill from both us and I cannot speak for the Japanese fan, but the vibe I'm getting was they had a lot of good. They had a lot of goodwill between the Japanese and us and the Japanese fans, because they lost at that point when Jay White lost the belts and got the belts and lost to Okada. They were at MSG. They're at Madison Square Garden during that crossover, and the review was the crossover matches were fine, New Japan matches were awesome, Ring of Honor sucked. There was a lot of goodwill that went into MSG show, and they went out on they left unscathed practically. Now they got to build things back up because a lot of goodwill has been drained, not just out of New Japan, but WWE just drained a whole lot of goodwill out of the wrestling fan, myself included. Indeed. They can't permit themselves to be, hey, let's put the belt on, name a guy. If the old championship has the same reputation of the most difficult belt, it cannot be a transitional championship right off the bat.
I'll just say, if they do decide to make it a transitional belt and do this, not only will this hurt Will Ospreay, not only this will hurt the belt, it will hurt Empire. The United Empire. They can't have their top guy, their leader, drop the belt in such an early manner after taking it off Kota friggin' Ibushi. They need this to give legitimacy back to the group. They need this. Empire needs this.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
The belt should have stayed on Ibushi until after for a longer period of time. To be fair,
I would assume that he was going to keep the new belts until at least Dominion.
That would the Dominion. Under normal parlance, I'd say yeah, but with all the restrictions going on, a longer term reign probably would have been better. And at this point, now you can't afford to be a transitional championship, especially on such a young championship. I'll repeat it again. Osprey should keep it to at least Wrestle Kingdom to make it look like it's not a transitional championship.
Yeah.
All right, and,
if it has to be Okada, keep him away as far away as possible so he could heal up and go for it full stop.
Unless I missed something, Will Ospreay is the first British person to win.
He is the first British champion.
He is the first British champion to be the top dog in New Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a big thing to carry on his shoulders. So
it's a lot of pressure. If it was anyone else, I'd have doubts. But Will Ospreay has shown he's damn good as being a heel. So you know what? Let's see what happens.
And from and from one title opportunity to another. This is, I think, a pretty good opportunity for this thing. So tomorrow, Impact is having their Hardcore Justice show on Impact Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the matches is going to be title versus career. Deonna Purrazzo defending the Impact Championship against Jazz.
It's an interesting matchup, and I get the feeling that Jazz said, hey, can I just go back to retirement? And they said, well, let's set it up. But it's still a very intriguing matchup, but it's definitely something to watch if you folks fancy spending a couple of dollars on it on the Impact Plus app.
If you're gonna retire with one of the best women wrestlers in the world right now.
That doesn't make any more sense than that right there. There it is. Your last match against one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. On paper, damn right.
And that is sort of like the old school thing of going out on your back and whatnot.
And using whatever clout you've accrued over the years to put over the new person.
Can I just say I really enjoy Jazz's entrance gimmick for the past few months where she has the New Orleans Mardi Gras mask.
I dig that. Yeah.
It's a really nice little addition, and she just looks like an absolute badass at this moment. So, just feels like she just came back, and I guess this was just really just one more last run because she was technically retired before returning to Impact. So, I guess it was just her last ride of sorts.
Kind of like a favor to someone as I'll bump a few more times and have a little bit more fun. Why not? And Impact's schedule is such that you only wrestle like 2 or 3 matches for 2 days, and then you're off for like a couple of months.
Just get a few TV tapings done, and then you're good until a few weeks later.
Yeah.
So it should be a good match, and who knows? Maybe Jazz maybe they'll surprise us, and Jazz will actually win. Who knows?
There you go.
You never know. And one thing we do know is, speaking of making big mistakes, I think nobody made a bigger mistake this week than WWE during their Hall of Fame ceremony.
Hogan?
No, this was Ethel Johnson. They're trying to honor her for their Legacy Award. So the thing is, though, number one, they did not contact any member of her family. And number two, the person you saw in that video was not Ethel Johnson. Instead, it was Sandy Parker, a different black woman.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I was going to give WWE I was going to give WWE the break on the losers list this week, but thank you, T-Dub. Thank you, T-Dub. That's a big fuck up.
That is a case of accidental or purposeful racism. Either way,
it's not a good look. Jesus Christ,
not a good look. And Cunt Hogan is in the Hall of Fame again. My God,
they get a double whammy that night.
That is like a double-decker racist burger right there with extra racism.
Yeah, Ethel's niece was on Twitter saying, "Y'all need to fix this because you're going to use my Aunt Ethel in the Hall of Fame. At least reach out to the family. And the video you guys use isn't her. Ethel Johnson was the first black champion ever. If you're going to represent her correctly." End quote.
Do we need to say anything more, Shen? I think that says it right there.
I honestly believe that this is a candidate for something that should legitimately be covered by Nash Bozer.
Oh, wow.
I legitimately believe that this should be on the actual What the Fuck Is Wrong With You. I legitimately believe that because a monumental fuck up, he would notice this. That he would
Hairball, if you're listening, do it. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, so who are we doing the Legacy Award this year?
Oh, boy. I don't know if we should do a skit on that, Shen. We can't make that shit funnier or less racist. I don't know if we should even make that funny.
It's hilarious in that it's a giant mistake that you think that nobody would make, especially a company with all the resources that WWE have. They have basically unlimited resources. They have all of the money to do all the things and make sure everything goes correctly. And then oh, fuck.
And now I have a mental image of them trying to of him picking out pictures of Miss Johnson and all of them being wrong. Okay, this is the woman. This is the woman I wanted to. That's not her, Vince. That's Jazz. Oh, sorry. All right. How about this one?
Oh God! Here's a prediction for you: Jazz in the Hall of Fame. You think they'll pull that trigger?
How about this one? Boss, that's Jacqueline. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting old right now. How about this? That's The Rock. Okay, hold on. I got it. Here it is.
To be fair, he's got bigger tits than Jacqueline.
How about this one? This is definitely her. That's Junkyard Dog, boss. Really? Thought I was right. Okay, one more time. Is this her?
That's Booker T.
God damn it. Okay, how about this one? That's Samuel L. Jackson. He's not even a wrestler.
Why is that picture even in here?
Well, how about this one? That's Morgan Freeman. That's Morgan Freeman, sir.
We'll put him in the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
have him read some shit. We'll put him in the Hall of Fame later.
I want to nominate one celebrity that's so
JC in the chat. JC in the chat. What about this one? That's Akeem the African Dream, sir.
And it's a hologram of him juking and jiving.
Oh, speaking of famous black celebrities, there's one that should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. That's Keith David. For his narrations alone.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I'm bringing in Keith David. That's not a picture of Keith David. That's the actual Keith David. I know. I couldn't find it. Him and that.
God.
Yes.
Do we have anything else? Because that's a topper. That's a closer right there.
I thought I'd end things with positive news, and that's Andrade, or La Sombra, whatever he's going to be known as, teasing a world title match with Nick Aldis.
Oh.
Now, if there's somebody who should beat him for the 10 pounds of gold, it should be him.
I will not argue that point, sir.
I
am not arguing. I am saying shut the fuck up and take my money.
I'll say a nice burn against WWE because there's been a report that they want to expand into Mexico and pick up some luchadors, to which he responded, hey, more people to stand around the locker room and do nothing.
Hey, Andrade, that's not fair. People do not stand around in locker rooms doing nothing in WWE. They stand around in catering. Get it right.
There you go.
I mean, you've had Titus's ribs. You know how delicious they are.
I know, and I miss him too. Okay, that's bad. That
was a horrible
That was horrible.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, so setting things on that nice little teaser there and a nice little burn from Andrade.
There you go.
I got a bit of news.
Sure. All right, what you got there, Shin?
Today is a very special anniversary because it was exactly, what is it? I think 4 years ago on this day, April 9th, that Katsuyori Shibata battled Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP World Heavyweight title.
How could it be that long ago?
And that was also Shibata's final match ever.
Shibata's last match at Sakura Genesis, and he left on a match of the year candidate to boot.
A fantastic match that nearly legitimately killed Shibata.
Yeah, it's like when it comes to dying for your arts, Shibata took that a little bit literally.
Little too far. And that's the reason why we are very adamant of not doing head-on-head headbutts anymore.
Yep.
Caved his skull right the fuck in, quite literally, folks.
Also, in other news, it's been announced that the French announced team of Jean Bessard and my boy Raymond Rougeau have been released from the WWE.
No, not Rougeau. Ray Rougeau's done? Okay.
Tabernacle!
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word. God, is the tabarnak. There you go.
All right.
I'm legitimately annoyed. I didn't expect to be annoyed by this, but I legitimately am. Why would you release an announce team?
Serious, I
Especially
know,
one
right?
with-
You know what? I'm willing to bet it's because of the Peacock transition more than anything else. But
Oh yeah, they're gonna get their own NBC French announce team. Fuck.
NBC has a
won't-
French announce team. Fuck.
Oh no, maybe.
And they won't sound anywhere as good as fucking Rene Rougeau.
Ray Rougeau, Raymond.
Well, no,
Rene
I know. Well, neither will. There was a Rene Rougeau, and he said, as someone who does speak French, if there was anyone that can make French dubbing tolerable, Rene Rougeau was. Yes, there will never
One
be
half-
better than Rene Rougeau. That's a fair point.
One half of my favorite tag team of all time from the Golden Age, the fabulous Rougeau brothers.
Yeah.
As they come out with their blue French Canadian jackets and waving tiny American flags.
Yeah. That was before they were the Mounties, by the way.
Let's see. Another news. A surprising person has decided to take up John Moxley's challenge for the IWGP United States title. None other than
No, not even that. He called them out.
none other than Yuji Nagata.
There was a promo. It was, believe me, if it wasn't for Chris Jericho's promo, that would have been clip of the week. He cuts a promo which was posted on all of New Japan's social media, YouTube, and all that stuff. And he says, well, he says he's talking a bunch of Western stuff and all that stuff, and then he calls out Yuji Nagata. Now, folks, I've started watching past Yuji Nagata's prime, but right when he had that match with Katsuyori Shibata.
Yep.
That should tell you something. Yuji Nagata's last singles title was a never open weight title, and he lost it to Shibata.
Yep. And his response is, and I quote, "When I fight, I use my fists, my elbows, my knees, and my body. I don't need a weapon. I'm going to show John Moxley that the body is the stronger weapon in a fight. Strong style, you can take it that way. I'll show you the real thing." End quote.
And Mox is more of a deathmatch wrestler. He's more of a brawler in AEW, but he's proven in the G1 a couple of years ago that he can go.
He went head to head with Suzuki last year.
And that was that match was one of the match of the year candidates. That should tell you something.
Yep.
So Yuji Nagata, he may be old, but I'm like slow enough to slow things down to make it look things more impactful. And strikes. At this point, I'm half Chubb thinking about that match now.
It's going to be a fight.
It's going to be a war.
Also, Tama Tonga is in the news as after AEW Dynamite, he sent a tweet to John Moxley saying, "Looks like you need help."
Yeah, ever since the Elite got back together back in
Tama
December.
Tonga has been laying it thick with the shit talk. And I'm not going to lie, the prospect of G.O.D. and Moxley and Eddie Kingston, I don't know if the world is ready for that combination.
The promo alone would kill everyone.
Oh my god, it's 5 dudes. We have to count for because we have 2 tag teams, and we need a 5th. You think Fale? Jesus, Bad Luck Fale maybe?
He'd stick out too much, especially in AEW.
Fair point.
Okay, and my last bit of news: Hiroshi Tanahashi calls out Brock Lesnar.
No, Tana, no! He's going to eat you.
No, gentlemen.
Not-
It's very simple. I'll take matches that'll never fucking happen in my fucking lifetime for 400, Alex.
More like he doesn't call him out. He doesn't call him out for a match. He just calls him out for a quote unquote selfish way of wrestling.
No, Tana, no! You're going to provoke him.
No. Actually, teed up. I'm teed up. I'm gonna stop you right there. I sense a little bit of grudge from that era of wrestling. You know, the Inoki-ism era of New Japan.
Yeah, I got the interview right here. It's not very long. While speaking with the High Series, Hiroshi Tanahashi talked about Brock Lesnar's run in New Japan.
There it
The two
is.
were supposed to have an heavyweight championship match in '06, but it got canceled due to Lesnar's visa issues. Tanahashi would say, I go in there and Ricky Choshu says Lesnar's not coming. I was just stunned, like the world had gone into darkness in front of me. I never knew the real ins and outs of the contract issue, but I do know that he had a really special money situation going on, and I would imagine that was at the heart of it. It was a really unprecedented set of circumstances when it came to IWGP title matches.
So there it is. This is not a new grudge. This is a very old grudge.
Tanahashi would then criticize Brock's in-ring work, stating that he is very selfish in the ring and that Lesnar only cares about money and not where Lesnar was wrestling, not where he was wrestling. And he said, I quote, "To be brutally honest, I could never get into what anyone saw in Lesnar. It was all one-sided, a completely selfish way of wrestling. I saw him come up in the early 2000s, and he was just pounding people. You never got to see anything from his opponents. I just didn't understand his deal at all. To be honest, Lesnar didn't really care where he was wrestling so long as he got his payoff." Unquote.
Yeah, so that's not a call to a match sheet up. That's an old grudge.
And he's not wrong.
I'm just saying, if all of a sudden, we see goddamn Brock Lesnar in the Tokyo Dome, you heard it here first. I called
He'd be
it.
booed out the fucking building. He would not be even allowed in the building.
No, they'd use
After
that
the
for heat.
shit he pulled during Inokiism, I'd be shocked to see him in the. That's I'll take shit that'll never happen ever again for 500, Alex. Oh wait, daily double. I am not seeing that. This is Tanahashi venting on an old grudge. I don't think there's anything to read into this other than maybe, with fantasy booking, but that's about it.
And
I
he's
certainly hope so.
not wrong. I mean, with the way Brock wrestles now, I don't see him having a good match with anyone on the New Japan card because
Brock always worked better with smaller guys, but when he wanted to go and wrestle, he went out there and wrestled. I mean, in his a few matches with Bryan and AJ Styles are an example of this. But Tanahashi's not wrong either.
Yeah, he's used to the quality of wrestler in WWE. No, do you really think Tanahashi or Naito or Osprey or any of the top pillars of New Japan are gonna just let Brock Lesnar throw them around for 20 plus minutes doing nothing but suplexes and F5s and just pulling finisher after finisher? No.
Anyway, JC in the chat, the fifth member should be Minoru Suzuki. No, first of all, Minoru Suzuki's not part of Bullet Club, so he's never going to jump into that shit.
If he's gonna jump into that shit, it'll be just to fight the winner.
Yeah.
And
half of the AEW top brass. I mean, Mox will have a murder boner thinking about it. Kenny Omega's gonna shit his bricks. I don't see it.
Eddie Kingston will be stripped naked in the middle of the rings, like, "Come and get it, old man. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Get in here, old man."
That's probably like the only match you could book with Minoru Suzuki. That'd be, oh my god.
I'm gonna do this old school, like in the streets, stripped naked, bare knuckle, like we do it in the streets. Come on, old man.
Get out, everybody.
Archer would pretty much would abandon Jake for his dad.
No. Archer would go, "Hey, come on. Hey, Snake, let me meet you somebody. I think you'll like each other." I don't think Minoru's going to fight Jake. I think that Jake and Minoru are two peas in a pod.
You seem very intense, like a snake. I am very well aware of you, Mr. Snake Man. Would you care to go for beer? I think I'd like that.
Actually, he can't because he's a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah, we got
Would you like to go out for sushi? I'd like that too.
There you go.
But of course, the real dream match, the match that was booked but never happened. The king versus the king. The king of pro wrestling versus the God.
It should have happened last year, folks.
Minoru Suzuki versus Orange Cassidy.
That match was booked. It was going to happen. Then fucking COVID.
Fucking COVID.
This must happen. We need this to happen. Here's
the setup for this. You do the obvious one, and then you do Minoru Suzuki versus Eddie Kingston. Get the guys who really want to fight. And then 2 weeks' time, Minoru Suzuki, and backstage after Minoru Suzuki's done doing whatever he does, he's pissed off, and is Orange Cassidy. 2 weeks on Dynamite. 2 weeks from now on Dynamite, Orange Cassidy versus Minoru Suzuki. 1 million people viewing. Seriously.
Yeah, that would put butts in the seats, and I'm not saying sarcastically.
This is there's going to be butts, seats, and people eyeballs on televisions.
And after this, win or lose, Orange goes into the crowd. Naito casually sits next to him, and they just become a tag team. The laziest tag team in the world.
Slow burn the singles match for a little later down the line. But yeah. All right, so my little bit. Are you done, Shin, by the way? I think that's it.
All I got.
All right. I'm not much. I mean, everything else was covered, but I do want to point your attention to a tweet I tagged you gentlemen in a little earlier today. Some people reacted to it on Twitter, but here it is. This is Becky Lynch just a few short hours ago. Picture of her working out with a tweet reading very cryptically, "Nothing is guaranteed here tonight, only now eternally." Look at how it's pointed out. Night one. And for those who need a little bit of assistance, let me zoom in. Just a little bit.
The man.
If you see NIGHTONE, night one.
That almost makes me want to watch it. Almost. I know, right? It makes you think, oh my God, they're trying to hype up a thing on a pay-per-view. How quaint. How quaint indeed. Let me bring it back here. There we go. But there it is. A tease? Maybe. But I, for one, am intrigued on where they might do. Actually, I think it might be something to do with the main event of Night 1, which we'll be discussing in just a few short minutes. But we got to pay a bill, so we're going to do that when we come back. WrestleMania 37, the whole damn 9 yards. We're taking care of that when we come back. Don't go away.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I want to know one thing.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
Well, the Rock doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
New 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
The Rock can't believe this little Rudy Pucciabroni has stolen all the Rock's signature moves.
He walks like the Rock. He talks like the Rock. He's got the rock bottom, the people's elbow, the people's eyebrow.
That's gimmick infringement.
That ain't right.
He's even got the millions and the millions of the Rock's fans playing this video game.
The Rock, know your role and shut your mouth.
Over 50 WWF superstars, all their signature moves and talks, plus entrances, cage matches, and create a wrestler. WrestleMania 2000.
You like pancakes?
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
We're back here on the Wrestle-Cast, RVT Entertainment Production, Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube. We're live on Twitch.tv. Matty, T-Dub, and Shintigercurl as per usual. Before we get to the plug of plugs, before we get to the plugs and then everything else, and of course, the preview of WrestleMania 37, I'd like to pay your attention to TikTok. I am officially a member of TikTokamania. I am on the promo battle cards, I guess you could say. I am in a 8-participant battle royal to determine the number 1 contender for a mid-card championship. The Intercontinental, Outer Continental, and or U.S. titles are involved. Let me get you the card real quick. A lot of the names are going to seem a little over the head, but here's what I got in there. I got names like Ray Adams, the official Mason. That's LIT Train. That's his gimmick name. I got myself, the Enchantress Mystique, the Chosen One, the Nosy the Boy, DTG TV, and Jackson Crow and Skylar Langford. It's the 8-person winner gets a shot at the thing. I'm not going to read the whole card. There is the main event of good buddy of mine, or a fast becoming good buddy of mine, Smith Deception, defending the NGTTWF Heavyweight Championship against Demented. That KG takes on the Natural. He's facing for the Universal title. The NGT Championship Painmaker takes on a Relic, the One True Killer. Remy Cassidy versus ACP. There's a bunch of names. There's a Discord, discord.io/NGTTWF. You can find them on TikTok at Next Gen Talent and at TikTok Wrestling. They're going to be posting a compilation of things, or going to duet things, and my little ass is going to be cutting promo. You can follow me on at Matty JWC on TikTok. My match promo has already been recorded, and I will tell you right now, I'm doing something I have not done on TikTok yet. And I think, while I may or may not win the Battle Royal, I'm getting a WrestleMania entrance pop on what I did on that video. So anyone in this chat that follows the NGTTWF, there's your tease. So let's talk about the thing we're supposed to talk about, boys. I think we ought to talk about that WrestleMania at not the Thunderdome this time. Oh my God, it's been too long. Raymond James Stadium hosts in Tampa, Florida, April 10th and 11th. Excuse me. The event card is as follows: the very first match in front of a crowd. McIntyre, Lashley, WWE Championship.
Very, very fitting, and especially with how much Drew has been campaigning to be the first match.
Yeah, and a lot of people think, oh, they're the curtain jerker, it's not that good, but there's a lot of significance with being the first match in front of crowd post-COVID, in front of a massive 5-digit crowd post-COVID. This is a massive crowd. Not even AEW has a quote-unquote capacity crowd that could reach into 10,000s.
I wouldn't call this post-COVID though. We still got like 6-8 months.
Yeah, we got another year of that shit to go. But in WWE, you don't think they're gonna go with that narrative? If I'm going with that narrative, they're gonna push the shit out of that narrative.
Yeah, and it's definitely gonna be good to finally have a crowd back, especially because for once Vince can't control the reactions, because once the Thunderdome, it's all his narrative. But here, it's back to sweet, sweet reality.
And this is where they will find out how good or bad a job they've done. And I'm willing to bet there are going to be quite a few boos on people Vince expected a few cheers.
I expect McIntyre to get hugely cheered here, especially
because McIntyre versus Lashley is a solid choice. The job they've done, minus fucking up the Hurt Business, is solid enough that they will have a solid match and the crowd will react accordingly. I think that's an easy prediction to make. I think they're going to be,
Give them 15 minutes.
15 minutes, Haas fight, big brawl, Drew wins, big pop, thumbs up. Nothing complicated there. And that's the first match. That they announced this today, as a matter of fact. And the main event of night one we will discuss, and it is considered a main event, which in this case, sorry, metal straw, smart move. But we will move on. About this is how fucked up is this? Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. He survived this 3-week push, guys. This is huge. Taking on the Miz and John Morrison in tag team match. This is basically a celebrity takes a bump or makes the heel take a bump for him kind of match, but it is what it is.
I did hear that Bad Bunny's been training legitimately, so we might see a pretty decent tag match here, possibly.
He's got to follow up Stephen Amell in the series bumping department, but he is a big fan of wrestling, and he is Latino, he's Mexican, so I'm not going to push this any other stereotype on this one. I just hope he doesn't hurt himself at that point.
He's not Mexican, he's Puerto Rican.
Oh, Puerto Rican, okay. I fucked up. Go ahead, Shin.
No, I got nothing to add to this match.
All right. Braun Strowman. Oh my god.
Nope. Tag team.
Yeah, I fucked up. New Day defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against AJ Styles and Omos. It used to be Omos, then Omis, then it's Omos. 2 months later, it's Omos. Replace the O with a U.
Oh, Moose.
Oh, Moose. Oh, Moose. Oh, God. Before you say anything else, I got to say this. We've taken Omos and replaced them with Folgers Crystals. I mean, Moose. Let's see if they notice. Okay, Moose is not 7 foot tall, but you get the idea I'm trying to push for here. I don't know. I don't know what do you think on that one, boys.
I would care more about this match.
Hello? Hello?
Jen, your internet is hating you tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought it was on my end this time.
Shin, if Oklahoma is the superior state to Texas, please stay silent.
We see there's activity. Of all the nights, too, to have the internet fuck up, right?
Discord, stop doing this!
Yeah, I believe you were trying to say that of all the things that you'd be less interested in. Now, T-Dub is joking, obviously. And again, Card Junkie in the chat, not funny, TWK. We know, right? We're trying to let Shin talk, but we have the thing, the push to talk thing is lighting up, but we're not hearing anything out of Shintigercurl, unfortunately.
Fuck!
Live, folks, we're live. That's what happens.
We're live, pal.
We're live, pal. Look, I stick around, but we got to move on. So New Day. I don't know who to pick on this one. Shin was saying that he could not be less interested in that much, which is fair enough. But
yeah, I definitely agree. Although there is one match that I'm actually less interested in, and it's the next one.
Oh my god! How in the hell? There is an era, not too far gone long ago, where I would have been excited as hell for a match like this. This time around, not so much. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. And now we just lost Shintigercurl. I believe he is going to reset his situation. He'll be back with us in a few minutes. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon inside of a steel cage. I should be hyped for this match. I am not.
One thing we can hope for is that this match is under 10 minutes long and Strowman just destroys Shane McMahon. That's
Shane
all
will
that's
take a massive bump, as one he will do, but at that point, it's a Strowman squash match featuring Shane McMahon. It's pretty much what it
That's
is
all
at this point.
it needs to be. Don't overcomplicate this, WWE. And who am I kidding? They probably will, but
They're going
I'm
to
trying
make
to be
this
optimistic.
last 20 minutes and with Shane McMahon running the fuck around.
There's so many things where if they just kept it simple, it'd be great. Like Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole. That's something that should have been very simple. Just a 5-minute match where Cole hits maybe 1 or 2 moves, and then Jerry Lawler makes his comeback, beats the shit out of Cole. 1, 2, 3, easy victory. But instead,
and bonus, since Stone Cold was involved, stunner.
Yes, but instead, they stretch it out to like 20 minutes, and Cole wins by reverse decision of the anonymous Raw GM.
A whole lot of bullshit on that one, but we don't need a reminder of why that match sucked. Here's a match that I think will steal the show at night 1, though. It stands a very solid chance in doing so, I think. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins.
I think that this could be the first true major victory for Mr. Cesaro.
Should be. I don't think it's fair to say Seth doesn't necessarily need a win for this matchup. But yeah, and a lot of people, this is Cesaro's first singles match on Mania. It's always been multi-man tags or ladder matches for him. No, this is, he needs, Cesaro needs it more than anything else at this point. I think that's fair to say.
%100% agreed.
And, oh god, tag team turmoil. Winner gets a shot at the women's tag team championship in night 2. Lana, Naomi, Dana Brooke, and Mandy Rose. The Riot Squad, that's Morgan and Ruby Riot. Natalya and Tamina. Meh. And Billie Kay and... Yeah, Billie Kay and Carmella. I thought I fucked up, but I did not fuck up.
I'm rooting for the Riot Squad here. Give them the win here, and then give them the tag belts. That's all I got to say about that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Shin just jumped back online. We're probably going to speed round this as soon as he pops back up. Shin, can you hear us?
Shin, can you hear me?
The internet does not like the Wrestle-Cast, folks. What can I tell you? He's trying. I don't think he can hear us right now.
Blaspheme. Internet, you will pay. Internet, you will pay for your blaspheming.
What's fucked up? I'm pretty sure he's on the new laptop.
I know. So
why is Discord giving him that much fucking trouble?
I can only imagine that it has to be some sort of internet gimmick.
I get the feeling we need to hook up our boy with the shades to fix up the problem.
Possibly.
Either that or get a big long Ethernet cable, because sometimes Wi-Fi is shit.
Yeah. Shades will definitely know more about this than me when it comes to the technical side of things.
Absolutely. We're going to let Shin try to figure stuff out again. I get the feeling he's looking at Discord and looking at the voice-connected part there and think, come on, let me connect so I can talk and make fun and make Killian Cross jokes. Killer Krispy Kreme jokes.
Rico says, Shin, if Luffy sucks, stay silent.
Oh, no, Riniko, no. That's fucking cruel.
Ha!
No.
No ha? No ha ha?
No ha ha, no.
Ah, okay.
No, you do not attack the man, part of a man's gimmick. Unless you want to be a heel, of course. Then he'd go right the fuck ahead. But it did do. That's a low blow.
At least he did not insult the straw hat.
Knock on wood there. And in the main event, as advertised, Sasha Banks versus the Royal Rumble winner Bianca Belair, SmackDown Women's Championship. Kind of a dream match there.
I'm going with Belair to win. It's her time.
Yep. Makes sense. But it shall be a banger. I see activity. Shin?
I'm back.
Hey! We need to hook you up with the shades to see what the fuck is wrong with your Discord, dude. Because on a new laptop, it should
Don't
not
know
be
what the
sucking
problem
that hard. Yeah, the internet is not cooperating. Are you on Wi-Fi? By chance? And I think we are about to lose him again.
No!
Texas, your internet providers suck. And we got to move on. I can't stay on all night up for this one. I'm sorry. So that's night 1. Night 2 starts. This is not bad advertised. So we don't know if we do know the main event will be Roman Reigns involved. So pretty much everything else is in flux. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship.
I expect Rhea Ripley to win this match.
Makes sense.
Should be a banger though.
Should be this. I mean, it's Asuka in full Asuka mode, and Rhea Ripley's not a slouch. Absolutely. All right. The Fiend. Bray Wyatt with Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. Confoundingly enough, they are advertising this as just a straight up singles match.
After all the gimmick matches, after all the mayhem, all the destruction, it's all leading to a match with rules and regulations.
Something tells me it will not stay that way for very long. I smell some cinematic stuff going on. But
After
this
all
is,
those months
this is my gut feeling at this point.
After all the months of build-up, you cannot end this feud with just a regular catch-can contest.
We said the same thing about Triple H and Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? You know, because that feud got into
because that build up. You're telling me that you're going to enforce if you get DQ'd, you lose your belt stip. Fuck that! Should have been outright fucking war.
Yeah, that should have been a hardcore match right there.
Big E versus Apollo Crews. Wait. Sorry.
Oh.
Hello.
Can anyone hear me?
I hear you.
Can you hear us?
I've been able to hear you, but it just keeps freezing at me.
Are you using any apps while you're online?
Other than Surfshark, no.
Really? Your internet, you need to... I'd say get an Ethernet cable for your laptop, because if you're on Wi-Fi, it sucks. Something's up.
Actually, my internet is fine. I just tried to... I tested it on Google Chrome. It works fine. It's just Discord that just seems to be the problem.
Goddamn Discord, stop screwing with our buddy.
I get the feeling that this is a service situation, and it might be a service situation. I cannot change it. Fuck.
Damn you, Discord. Damn you to wherever back technology goes.
I could shut off the Surfshark for a bit.
I mean, if it's not using too much stuff, I don't think it's going to be that kind of an issue.
Anyways, moving on to the...
All right, we're trying to do a preview, and our boy was gone for too long, so we're going to speed around this. I believe we left at the cage match. So, 5-second opinions, Shin, if you could still hear us. I believe you can. All right, Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Go. No, come on. Oh. Can you hear us? He cannot hear us. All the quality in the world, and some fucked up thing happens. Boo! Boo! Boo indeed. Boo indeed. Keep booing, damn you! All
right, so just to speed things up, next we have...
we got to speed things. I'm sorry, Shin, but we got to speed things up. It sucks. It absolutely sucks, but I got to move on. Big E versus Apollo Crews in a Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, then.
Not sure what that is. Not sure if they explained it this week on SmackDown, but just with the talent involved, it should be a good match.
Should being the operative word, of course.
And I expect Apollo Crews to finally get a title run. Finally, after all this time, get a good title run.
Should be. At least that's what I think. And I got nothing else to add to this. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. There was that old chestnut that I like to watch every once in a while. But the problem? Sami Zayn with Logan Paul at ringside.
Because they apparently need a celebrity for both nights, and they decided to script the bottom of the barrel for Logan Paul.
I'm not going to spend my time explaining why you should hate Logan Paul. All I'm going to say is you should hate Logan Paul.
He's got a laundry list of things he's done.
Now, forget the reputation of the next guy in the next match, and concentrate on just this will be two dudes beating the shit out of each other. Riddle versus Sheamus for the United States Championship.
I think Sheamus is overdue for a singles title run.
He's overdue for a title run for sure, but I'm just concentrating on the fact that these two are, Riddle's an MMA man, badass, and Sheamus likes to beat up people.
They like to fight for fun, just like the Finley fella.
Just like the Finley fella. This would be a hoss fight in a sense.
I expect both men to be a little bruised afterwards.
There will be chops. There'll be redness, a little bit of soreness.
Especially on Sheamus, because he apparently can't wrestle a single match without getting bruises all over his body.
Someone will have a limp, more than likely.
And after all this, Sheamus putting in all his work to his character for the past 6 months, I think like I said, he's overdue for a title run after all the work he put in to his character these past six or so months.
Yeah.
He's definitely put his working boots on this past a year, so come on. Give the guy a title run, finally. Stop blue balling him.
Absolutely. And
also, let Sheamus come out to his old theme song.
That would be a plus. That would be a plus.
Also, you know who I noticed isn't on this card?
Bailey.
There's no Jeff Hardy.
There's no Jeff Hardy, no Bailey.
And I found that strange because Jeff Hardy made a deal with WWE that the moment they got crowds back, he'd get his No More Words song.
And he's not on the Mania card. Coincidence, folks? Someone don't want to pay nobody no money.
Maybe.
Let's see. We have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler taking on the winner of the tag team turmoil matchup. And Reginald is at ringside because somehow he made Vince McMahon laugh way too hard.
If you make Vince laugh, you've got a job for at least a good, I would say 6 months at least.
Hey, it happened with James Ellsworth. I guess it happened with Reginald.
I believe that's also how R-Truth got his lifer job.
Yeah, I believe that is the case as well.
And like I said, I'm rooting for Riot Squad to win the turmoil and the tag team titles.
Yes.
Shin, can you hear us? Shin!
Yes, I can.
Hey!
Yes!
All right. Just in time for the main event, my friend. Triple threat.
Good.
Roman Reigns, Edge, Daniel Bryan, Universal title. What say you, Shintigercurl?
Anyone but Edge.
Really?
Not because I hate him or nothing. It's just it just wouldn't feel right for him to win it at this point, especially off the merchandise.
Fair enough.
Like if you're gonna have the merchandise lose, be it to Daniel Bryan. They got too much history. They got too much backstory and lore going into this. It just felt like Edge was just put in just because, you know.
For the love of God, and for the love of God, Bryan should win just to perpetuate the meme for another couple of weeks. It's Kong versus Godzilla versus Daniel Bryan. It's this guy versus this guy. I'm like, thank God we're a 3-man booth, because if we were just a 2-man booth, Daniel Bryan would show up.
By the way,
no,
if you guys have not seen Kong versus Godzilla, good time.
I'll give it a watch.
You were going to say something, though, Shin.
I'll give it a watch.
You said about, I believe you were saying something about the match?
No. If it was a 3-man booth, it wouldn't be Daniel Bryan. If it was a 2-man booth, it wouldn't be Daniel Bryan. It'd be Matt Damon.
There you go, yeah. No, Matt Damon as Daniel Bryan. Aha, keeping the gimmick going. Aha.
Matt Damon is Daniel Bryan in WrestleMania, the movie, the game.
WrestleMania, the movie, the game, the motion picture book. Ultra, Super Extra, Mega Muffin, Street Fighter 2.
3rd edition.
Turbo.
And JC says, Daniel Bryan has been sabotaging Shin so he can worm his way into the call.
That's what we figured. That's what. Check outside. Actually, Shin, make sure Minoru Suzuki's out there. He'll have fun with Daniel.
Oh, don't worry. We paid him in potato salad.
Ah.
Yeah, he just sits out there looking psychotic as always. And now the entire neighborhood is empty for a 12-block radius.
Oh, God, yes. Guts Master Guts in the chat. But WrestleMania, the movie, the game, the podcast of the candy.
That almost sounds like a Spaceballs joke.
It's not, but it feels like it should be a Mel Brooks joke.
Yeah, most definitely. It sounds like something he would write.
It's not a reference. I think it's just a riff on what we're doing right now.
Yep.
Which is fair enough.
Sound like a joke that Mel Brooks would make.
And if you don't know who Mel Brooks is, too young for us.
Get out. Go to Prime Video or Netflix or Google Play if you have to buy the damn films. Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles.
Good
Guts, I
times
based it
all
on the
Part
glitch
one.
text joke. Aha. A worthy joke. All right, so that's the thing. We pretty much did the entire card without you, Kushin. Sorry.
Okay? I didn't care about the card.
Well, there you go.
So it all worked out.
Just going to do jokes the whole way through.
Yeah, I was going to give people different names like Jericho would, but, the whole technical thing. The merchandise with Paul the Walrus versus Old Man Edge versus Triple Threat Bryan. Big E versus the Nigerian Prince. Kentucky Fried Fiend versus Randall. I don't care. Just give me the payday. Orton. Braun. I should have brought the stand-up base to put myself over again. Strowman versus Shane. What the fuck am I sweating this for? McMahon. Bobby, I should have been a main event star in the UFC. Lashley versus Drew, the Sex McIntyre. Big Dick
Take that
Daddy
back right
Drew.
now, Matty.
I knew she was going to say something.
Yeah.
There is only one the sex in professional wrestling. Damn sure, Drew McIntyre.
Hey, you could book a main event feud with doing that alone, and you know it. Big Dick Daddy Drew versus the Sex, John Morrison. For the right to
Making
be
it
called
even
the
worse,
Sex.
there's only one.
That's a SummerSlam feud right there.
You're making it even worse. Now you're adding Big Dick Daddy into the mix.
Oh, you mean Big Dick Dudley?
No, Big Dick Daddy. He was a Houston-based wrestler. Worked for Texas All-Star Wrestling. Fought Necro Butcher in a
Okay, so obvious local reference is obvious.
Big Dick Daddy, the other white meat. And no, I'm not kidding. This is not me doing a shtick. There was one of my favorite wrestlers in Texas All Star Wrestling was really named Big Dick Daddy, the other white meat.
And let's also not forget about Ross Tweddell's favorite wrestler, Big Dick Tony Cesaro.
Yeah.
Any relation to Big Tony from the party?
Possibly.
More than likely, yeah. I'd say so.
Anyways, we've gone long enough tonight. Do we have time for winners and losers?
I believe we have time for winners and losers. Dude, this is a WrestleMania show. I'd be shocked if we didn't. Like, we've just gone over. We've just gone over 2 hours. I'd be shocked if we didn't. I don't mind going over 2 hours for Wrestle-fucking-Mania. Even if it is a shit WrestleMania, it's going to be a WrestleMania. T-Dub, Shin, what?
Well, I'm glad I called off work tomorrow.
We're only going to be on for another 10 minutes, T-Dub. It's not that big a fucking deal. Shin, you got to Oh, wait. Yeah, I realized I forgot to download the file. For the D-cell battery. You know what? Put the image in the Wrestle-Cast chat, and I'll have that set up next week. But D-cell battery, let's go. If we can go at this point. Can we?
Shin, don't scare us like this. Shin, you're scaring me. You're scaring me, Shin.
Was he doing this yesterday? What, during Rift Down?
No, he wasn't. Yesterday he was fine. He was perfectly everything went perfectly fine.
Someone's sucking up his internet, and Shin ought to be pissed off right now.
Daniel Bryan, you bearded bastard.
While we're waiting for Shin, T-Dub will have to go with you.
All right, my losers this week will go to WWE for screwing up, getting somebody wrong for the Hall of Fame, and also not contacting their family for it at all. Jesus.
That's bad.
This feels like something they're just like, okay, we need one thing for last. Okay, running behind last minute for a legacy induction. That person, just get some footage, whatever. Have some intern get some footage.
And that intern just got fired for it, I'm pretty sure. For me, WWE for that fuck up. Thank you, T-Dub. I was looking for a big one. But the other one I have in there, Hulk Hogan. Why? He was on that Hall of Fame stage with the NWO WCW title belt and all, spouting bullshit after bullshit. And one thing I noticed, T-Dub, if you look at that picture, and if you look at Nash and Hogan side to side, Hogan's shorter, obviously, but when he was in WCW, he wasn't that shorter.
Oh.
You look at the thing. Yeah, we can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, all right. Let me finish my losers, and then we'll go to you. And I'm giving Hogan a loser, and you know why. And he's calling bullshit. He said, after night 2, maybe we had the NWO to take over, brother. Hogan, don't ever put that image of you trying to fuck up another Mania ever again. Take your other ring and get the fuck out.
As soon as Killing Cross wins another title match, all of a sudden, bow, 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 bow.
Let me tell you something, brother. The only belt that didn't win, brother, was the NXT title, brother. Dude. Jack. Thank you. Other brother dude, Jack. But Hogan spilling out bullshit. He's doing his own Hogan shtick and taking way too fucking long and looking way more artificial than he ought to. He had work done to make himself look decent at the Hall of Fame. Something's fucked up. Like, compared to Nash, he's a whole foot lower than he was back in WC. Hogan...
Well, he has had several surgeries over the past several years.
Yeah. Something just looked off of the Hulkster, and I think at that point, after Mania is done, maybe do shots above the hip line at this point. Just at this point.
Also, I've already noted on here, this is one of my fears, that Hogan will technically be the first person in front of the crowd for WrestleMania, making their entrance. I don't want that to happen.
It's going to be that. It's going to be that. Hogan may not be a wrestler, but he'll politic his way to that spot. You know it. Oh, it's a very rational fucking fear.
Like I'm hoping it's not a rational fear.
That being said, Shin, it's delayed, but D-cell battery, it is your turn. I see it lighting up, but he's not talking.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh yeah! Hold on, his internet. Fuck, we're almost at the end of it, and the internet.
We're at the home stretch.
We're at the home
Come on,
stretch.
Make the hot tag and then go home. Come on. Come on, Shin. Make the hot tag. Hit the finish. Go
All
home.
right, D-Cell Battery Award.
Hey,
Didn't have
there
one
we
this
go.
week. Learned about the WWE and what they did to a certain. What was her name again? Teed up.
Let me just bring it up real quick then.
Teed up.
He's looking for it. He's looking for it.
I'm pulling it up right now. Gotta pull up the article. Ethel Johnson.
Hello?
Ethel Johnson.
Oh, apparently I can't do any.
Ethel Johnson. Shin,
Discord
can you hear us?
is up because it just
We can hear you.
doesn't want
Can
me
you hear
doing
us?
anything.
Teed up, stop. Let him
Okay.
talk.
The D-cell battery goes. Yeah, Ethel Johnson. Ethel Johnson.
Typing, folks.
I can hear you.
There you go.
I
Can you hear us?
guys. All right, Ethel Johnson. Use the proper person's picture. Yeah, I can. Hello.
I'm letting Shin to
Oh,
know to keep
what
going.
a clusterfuck we're having. Oh, goddamn. I can only laugh at
I'm
this.
telling him to keep going.
Just to let you know, I can't see the group chat. So, all right. As for my losers, I'm going to give it to Seth Rollins for that tweet he made years ago, calling Will Osprey the lesser man's version of Ricochet. That tweet has aged like fine milk. Because look where Ricochet is. He's in catering, and right now Will Ospreay is on top of the motherfucking world. And those are my losers.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, I believe, was what he was saying. It did true. Ricochet, bottom of the barrel. Will Ospreay, dubious means, top of the world. Fair enough. All right, well, let's do winners. And hold on, let me type in winners for Shin so he can go.
Shin can't see the chat.
He should have Discord up then.
He said earlier like he can't see the group chat for whatever reason. Unfortunately.
If I try to switch over to the group chat, it will just make things worse. I've noticed that.
That's really.
Can you still hear us though?
I can still hear you guys fine. It's just I can't do anything else, or Discord will just start chugging.
Oh, that's weak. God damn it.
On a new, something's up with fucking Discord at this point. Winners, Shintigercurl, if you can hear us, do your winners, and teed up, do not interrupt.
All right. First, a Resquio Impache to a hip-hop legend. As today, we lost DMX. Had a heart attack over the last week, and he was declared brain dead over the last few days, and his family pulled the plug on him. So, wherever you are, big dog, rest well. And winners, Jericho's promo, roasting everybody and their mamas. Let's see. A lot going on. A lot of stuff on Impact. The win of the Oreo, as we're calling them, the team of Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards and the Mac over Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. That was good. And my whole winners list is fucked up because Discord has been fucking me. So that's all I can go with right now.
All right, D-Dub.
Gonna give my winners to Impact Wrestling for putting on one hell of a show this week. Probably didn't win the ratings war against NXT, but still, it was still a pretty good show to watch. And of course, AEW for not slacking this week, because they could have easily been like, all right, there's a takeover going up against us. We just relax it. But no, they still kept going strong. So congrats to them for not resting on their laurels.
All right. For me, NXT, especially night one, and especially for Tommaso Ciampa versus Walter. Fair enough. Chris Jericho gets a winner for all the obvious reasons. And besides Hulk Hogan and the Legacy Hall of Fames, I think at this point I don't want to cause any more trouble than there already is. But anyone that was able to show up to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, especially Rob Van Dam, who had a wonderful induction speech, and Molly Holly, who pretty much took her time to highlight the crew of the WWE. Such a soul, such a wonderful soul. They are winners this week. Can someone tell Shin to plug his book? I think we need to plug his book now.
I can hear you guys just fine.
All right, well, plug your book.
All right, already know New World by Greg Haynes. It's on sale right now. And as of last week, if I got my first video review, it should have been someone else. I'm looking at you, Krim. But it was done by a blogger by the name of Javisa. She read the entire book. She gave her honest thoughts. And you can find the review up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Maxacorn. And make sure, and if you're interested, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in a little bit of Warmer Horde lore and faction videos. I do those all the time, every week on Fridays now. And that's about it. Trying to get out of here before Discord decides to fuck me.
All right, you got it in, and then D-Dub, you get to get your shit in. Plug your Patreon away.
Yep, there's the link to my YouTube channel in the chat and in the Twitch. Got my review of WrestleMania Wrestling going up on my Patreon, patreon.com/TWK reviews within the next 24 hours. So after it's done there, it'll be live on my YouTube channel afterwards. So once again, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that way you know when the video goes live on there. But if you want to see it early, patreon.com/TWK reviews.
And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at MattyJ316, and I've already plugged my TikTok for all of the obvious reasons. The only thing we left to do at this point, say thank you for tuning in. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. We will review WrestleMania next week as we are wont to do. But until then, we thank you very much for tuning in and all that good stuff on behalf of everybody, including Shintigercurl.
Discord, I will kick you in the dick 100 times.
And TWK.
And this is TWK telling you to work your gimmick and stop fucking up Discord, or I will kick you in the dick.
And my name is Matty J, reminding you to help professional wrestling support Gen and promotion as soon as possible and help control the Discord population. Kick him in the dick to make sure the fucking internet works on Discord as soon as possible. Or we'll have Discord spayed or neutered, whichever works. Have a good one, have a safe one. You know what? I don't want to be hypocritical. If you're watching and intending on enjoying WrestleMania, don't take our word for it. It's still WrestleMania, for God's sakes. Have fun watching it, man. It should be fun. Have a good one, have a safe one, and enjoy WrestleMania weekend. It only happens 1 weekend a year. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
We are the Inner Circle, and we are back in black, baby. And it was only one short month ago when we were in this ring and given the beatdown of a lifetime by the Pineapple, the Pinnacle.